Greetings, my friends. I want to thank you all for subscribing. I want to thank all of my channel members for supporting me in this endeavor to save pop culture. And if you are not subscribed, please consider supporting this channel. We need you. Thank you. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth. And today I stand before you to reaffirm the lesson that all of us know and that Hollywood is learning. Get woke, go broke. Disney recently had its 100-year anniversary celebration, but at the celebration table, Iger and the board were served Night Train fortified champagne, and the main entree was crow, as it turns out, because sadly their big celebration was marred by the fact that due to Disney's insane commitment to ditching their mainstream core audience in favor of political extremist minorities, a lot of people have abandoned Disney these days, and now it's looking like Disney's biggest investors, the institutions heavily invested with Disney stock in their portfolios, may be ready to do their best impression of Bill Paxton in Aliens and say,
"We just got our asses kicked. Game over, man. Game over."
In other words, in a recent article from the financial analysis website Simply Wall Street, the analysts there are expressing real concern that major investment funds, Disney's biggest investors overall, are getting real deeply worried about how viable Disney is, given Disney's huge losses and failures of late, and how these massive investors may be ready to sell their Disney stock and jump ship, a move that would certainly play into Nelson Peltz's greedy hands. And by the end of this video, I'm going to make a case that this is wonderful news for fans and cause for much rejoicing, on Disney's 100-year anniversary.
Like the age-old question, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound if no one is around to hear it? These investors are asking the question, can an entertainment company make a profit if no one goes to see their movies? And the answer is, no, not really. Well, of course, Disney does have their theme parks and cruise ships, no doubt. But the parks have been very empty of late, prompting Disney to put tickets on sale and offer all sorts of deals. But then, insanely out of desperation, they're raising prices all over the place. I guess their new VP of marketing is Sybil, or perhaps Gollum. My precious, we need to advertise big savings on sales. Yes, Precious, and we need to raise all our prices. But Precious, won't that defeat the purpose of putting stuff on sale for bargain hunters? I don't know, Precious, but let's see what happens.
Well, what happens in such an instance is big-time investors who are into the idea of profits and dividends start noticing just how fucked up your company is. Especially when you start seeing articles like this one published on your 100th anniversary. GB News recently published an article titled, "Disney in Crisis, Woke Outrage Leaves 100-Year Celebration in Tatters." In this article, they write, quote, "Disney is celebrating its 100th birthday this week, but critics have highlighted that their recent embroilment in woke controversies has tainted the celebrations. From rows over land with conservative politicians to their recent releases bombing at the box office, Disney's 100 year has not been a smooth sailing. Earlier this month, the Walt Disney Company announced discounts on children's tickets at Disneyland and Disney World as a fallout from their numerous woke rows."
Yeah, parents are keeping their kids away from Disney theme parks these days. I wonder why.
3 words, Harvey Cthulhu: bibbity, bobbity, boutique. But I digress. The article continues, quote, "The entertainment giant has said it has seen park and hotel attendees drop, which they have claimed is due to inflation impacting shopping habits. However, it comes after the company has become entangled in a woke argument with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Meanwhile, the company has also faced blows at the box office, with their last 8 releases underperforming compared to expectations. The firm is facing a staggering $900 million loss after many of its more woke-minded films have flopped. Guardians of the Galaxy and a live-action version of The Little Mermaid underperformed in ticket sales, whilst two other recent films, Strange World and Lightyear, were huge failures. The Little Mermaid adaptation caused controversy when black actress Halle Bailey was cast to play the signature underwater princess. The upcoming adaptation of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs has already faced a heavy backlash after leading actress Rachel Zegler slammed the original, unquote.
The wages of woke is broke. Hey, that's my line, asshole! How dare you steal my line? It's TM, you know. You owe me a nickel. I pay you your nickel as soon as I find my wallet, which I left in my pants, which I left on my legs, wherever they are. In other words, don't hold your breath, you grinning green gargoyle.
Enough! The fact of the matter is, Disney business and Disney stock are both in the toilet, and big investors are getting very nervous indeed. In an article from Simply Wall Street titled, "The Walt Disney Company's latest 3% decline adds to one-year losses, institutional investors may consider drastic measures." They write, quote, "Significantly high institutional ownership implies Walt Disney stock is sensitive to their trading actions. 36% of the business is held by the top 25 shareholders. Ownership research, along with analyst forecast data, help provide a good understanding of opportunities in a stock. A look at the shareholders of the Walt Disney Company can tell us which group is most powerful. We can see that institutions own the lion's share in the company with a 64% ownership. Put another way, the group faces the maximum upside potential or downside risk. And so it follows that institutional investors was the group most impacted after the company's market cap fell to US $152 billion last week after a 3% drop in the share price. The recent loss, which adds to a one-year loss of 18% for stockholders, holy shit, may not sit well with this group of investors. Institutions or liquidity providers control large sums of money, folks, and therefore, these types of investors usually have a lot of influence over stock price movements. Hence, and here is the point, my friends, if weakness in Walt Disney's share price continues, institutional investors may feel compelled to sell the stock, which might not be ideal for individual investors, unquote. And they also add the following disclaimer. This article by Simply Wall Street is general in nature. We provide commentary based on historical data and analyst forecasts only using an unbiased methodology, and our articles are not intended to be financial advice. It does not constitute a recommendation to buy or sell any stock.
So, Dunkak, the question is, would it be bad for Disney if suddenly big investors started selling big chunks of stock?
Well, from the point of view of the Disney board, it would probably seem like a disaster, Harvey. But from the point of view of fans, I think this could be massively good news because a big sell-off would certainly drop the Disney stock price even lower. And who has recently been buying up Disney stock at every opportunity?
Nelson Peltz of Try and Fund Management, who is currently making a bid to get seats on the Disney board and to put himself in Bob Iger's CEO spot, according to some sources.
Bingo, oh skull of Calderon. Yes, a weakened stock sell-off would simply add to Nelson Peltz's portfolio. He's been taking big advantage of Disney's weakened stock price to shore up his shares of the company, and every share gained is yet more power to storm the gates of Disney and realize his ambition to get his own people on the Disney board and possibly oust Iger as CEO. Now, why would this be good for fans, you ask? Because Peltz, as I've said before, is profit-oriented. The entire reason he wants seats on the board is to stop the bleeding at Disney, and how would he do that? Well, what are the causes of Disney's financial hemorrhaging? They were listed at the start of the video, but almost all of them can be linked ultimately to wokeness. So it stands to reason that if Peltz is determined to turn Disney back into a for-profit company, the changes he'll have to make will be related to curbing or eliminating the excessive wokeness that has alienated everyone in Middle America. He'll need to cut out the propaganda in movies and hire good writers to tell stories that don't suck. He'll need to get Disney out of the political arena and try to restore parents' faith that their kids won't be subjected to LGBTQ+ messaging in their cartoons and shows without their parents' knowledge. He'll need to patch things up with Florida. He'll need to make sure Disney stops pooping all over their own classic films and franchises. All of these things are good for fans, my friends. Harvey said it best. The wages of woke is broke.
You owe me a nickel, mofo.
And those wages are now coming due for the Walt Disney Company. And this is a good thing for fans. I bring you glad tidings, my friends. Change is afoot at Disney, and it's about damn time. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
Ha 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 ha.